Well, thank you, whoever did that. I always forget. Okay, I'll put up our slide here. So welcome, everybody. You are at the Health Council Talk for May 5th, Friday, May 5th, and we're going to have two speakers today. Tristan Maroney is going to tell you about the Department of Health's asthma prevention program, and Anthony Saavedra is going to tell you about a program that's going to help prevent asthma and other illnesses that are related to smoking. So when you come on board, could you introduce yourself in chat? And please note that this meeting will be recorded. So welcome, everybody.
Wendy, were you trying to share your screen? Nothing's popped
I
up
am trying to share my screen.
okay, got it.
I
Just want to make sure you do.
I didn't do it.
I struggle with that.
How about this? How about this?
Yeah, there
Share
you
screen.
go.
Welcome, everybody. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Just wanted to give you a heads up. I do the same thing.
Yes, indeed. It's Friday. So. Okay, and I don't have my clock available anymore, so someone's going to have to tell me when it's what, minute or two out?
Right now, moment.
It's noon right now, so let's give it a couple minutes and then we'll start. Oops, thank you all for coming.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. I almost forgot.
It is Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh gosh, where's our soundtrack?
I know. I should have a different background actually for that.
Gary, where's our soundtrack music?
Right.
Oh gosh. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Missed an opportunity there.
Someone look up some songs from Coco or.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And you spelled my name right. Wendy, wow.
Okay. We try.
Thank you.
I should by now. A couple more people coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do we think? About time to start, or what's our timing?
It is 12:02.
12:02. I think.
Okay, let's get started. We got, let's see, one more person. Carrie, I will defer to you now. Carrie and Rebecca, if you can just let people join. Thank you all for coming to our Health Council Talk on this Friday. As I said, we're going to have two presentations, related presentations. Tristan's going to tell us about New Mexico DOH asthma prevention program, and Anthony's going to tell us about an interesting program called Smoke-Free Signals, which is going to prevent asthma and other related illnesses that have to do with smoking. So thank you all for coming. Please introduce yourself in chat. And please note that the meeting will be recorded. So if you know someone who misses this, who's missing this talk, let them know that the recording will be available so they won't miss it. That'll probably be available sometime early next week. So before we get started, as always, we want to have you join us in our land acknowledgement. New Mexico Alliance of Health Councils humbly recognizes and acknowledges that we are on unceded territory and ancestral lands of the original peoples of New Mexico's Pueblos, the Apache Nations, and the Navajo Nation. Together, we acknowledge the history of genocide, dispossession, colonization, and ongoing systemic inequities, while strengthening and respecting our relationships with Indigenous people. We give thanks to the past, present, and future stewards of this land, and we respect all tribal nations' sovereignty. In offering this land acknowledgement, we affirm Indigenous resiliency, self-determination, and self-governance of New Mexico's tribes and nations who are still here today. So again, thank you all for coming. We are going to now introduce our speakers for today. I believe that Tristan, you are going first. So I'm going to let each of you introduce yourself as your time comes. And Tristan, we will turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Wendy. So yeah, hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I just realized what today was. So sorry, one day I should change my background for that. So yeah, hopefully you all are having a great Friday afternoon and looking forward to a nice weekend. So I am as Wendy said, I am the asthma control program manager at Department of Health. We are located in the environmental response division. So we really work on environmental health outcomes is really what our goal is. Obviously, our mission for the asthma program is to reduce the burden of asthma in New Mexico. Just quick stats, obviously about 1 in 10 adults in New Mexico have asthma, and 1 in 13 kids. So a little lower for kids, but mainly because it takes a while to diagnose them when they're young. So certainly is an issue. Probably seen a lot of news as well as about air quality. So I'm really excited to hear Anthony talk. Let's see what else about us. We are a CDC funded program, 100%. What we do is we follow kind of the guidelines for the CDC program, which I'll share with you real quick. Sorry, I have kind of a little weird setup in my office here. Hope you'll be able to see this. Can you all see that? Thumbs up. Thanks, Anthony. So this is the Excel package is what I call it. And so this is basically the areas that the CDC wants us to focus our energy into for asthma. And so as you see, education on asthma, self-management, which some of you might know about. If you don't, again, always happy to come back and talk a little bit more about these things. But again, there are really specific programs that are out there that are evidence-based, that a lot of different individuals can provide to asthma patients. And that just helps them reduce their exacerbations, which is really what we're looking for. As you probably all know, this is a chronic condition. We can't cure it, but certainly we can do the things we can to reduce really those kind of life-threatening things. X, so again, it's perfect. Anthony's here talking about secondhand smoke and really any of those things that can really trigger asthma for folks. H is for those home visits to help really identify triggers in the home. And again, be able to provide that one-on-one self-management education. A obviously is a pretty obvious one that focuses a little bit more on the kind of best practice for medical providers and how they're treating them. So there's lots of programs that are offered just to help medical providers feel a little more strong in their ability to treat asthma. L obviously is for linking folks, that could be community health workers, care coordinators, medical providers, you name it, right? That's really, in my opinion, as a medical provider, the best way we should be doing public health and healthcare for folks. And then for E, I think it's actually a really important one right now in our state is the environmental aspect of asthma. So you probably heard we're trying to get a climate change department, Department of Health. We're seeing, worsening air quality, outdoor air quality in our state. We have, smokes and fires going on. So again, they're all really important aspects of asthma. So I just wanted to share that just so you all could see what it is that we focus on. So again, the main reason I brought this up is that what we do with our funding from the CDC is that we develop projects or programs with communities. So again, every community is different as far as what the need is. We might need to focus on E or A somewhere or a combination. So really what our goal is to work with communities to see what the need is. You all tell us what that is, or we help you build that, and then we provide the funding. So that's a major component of what we're doing. I also am trying to make our website a little more, user-friendly, just so we're a resource as well for people who have asthma or just trying to find that information. The other thing that we do that I'll also mention is that we have an asthma council that meets quarterly. And really why we have that is just to help us again inform things that we could be doing as like overarching goals for asthma in New Mexico. So really kind of that macro level aspect of asthma in New Mexico. So yeah, that's what we do. What me and Wendy have come up with that I'll just talk about briefly is a little project to work with you all. This is obviously kind of step one of that is just to let you know who we are, introduce what we do. And so what you will get, and I'll put it into the chat, and I'm sure Wendy will send it out afterwards, is really just a survey. We just really want to know kind of, where your community is at with asthma. Is it something that you currently have as a priority? What aspects of asthma could be really helpful for you all to learn more about. That might just also drum up some ideas for you in thinking about projects for the Health Council. So we'll be launching that. I would ask all of you, please, please, please fill out, and encourage all your health councils to fill out, because what we'll be doing after this, and again, we'll be asking when a good time for you all are, but I will be hosting workshops on those various aspects of asthma that you all are interested in. And so I can provide any of that information. Again, I have a medical background. If it's the environmental stuff, I'll find someone who's maybe a little more appropriate for that, but do best I can. So that's really our goal, is really just to introduce some of these asthma components that we work on, and see where we can help you all. So that's really our goal for this. I believe we decided to have this Survey Monkey out for about a month. So I'm thinking June 1st would be a good day. I don't think we had nailed that down, Wendy. But I think, just the sooner, if you all can let us know, then we can start planning some workshops. Again, I'll just put out there, we can do it in person. We can do it if your health council is really interested in asthma. I can come in person to do it in your community. I honestly would love it. Just going out in communities, all this Zooming and telework gets a little old. So love to go out in the community and meet you all. But we can also do it virtually. We can do short amounts of time. I know you all have other jobs, so definitely all of that will be arranged at a later date. But those are the main things that I want to talk about. Again, it's real brief, but if you guys have any questions, certainly feel free. Otherwise, let's stop sharing. Any questions?
I think it's up at the top, Tristan.
I know I have 3 screens open, so sometimes it's hard for
Well,
me to
while
get.
she's doing that, does anyone have any questions for Tristan? Also, Tristan, at some point, could you put your email into the
Yes.
chat? I'm thinking if you have questions before, during, whenever, in addition to the survey, if you will put your email into the chat, perhaps people can just get in touch with you with real quick messages about their interest in asthma education, their interest in you coming and doing a workshop. How does that sound to folks who are here today? So the survey link will come out. I know you get a lot of requests for information gathering, but if you do have some quick responses to Tristan, either questions or yes, I'm interested in a workshop. Tristan, it's okay if they just send it to you right now or soon or whenever.
And anyone can just chat with me if you want as well.
Okay.
So
So there's,
will these be sent out to the health council coordinators and the health promotion team?
yes, ma'am.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And it will be also, Carrie, it'll be on our website, will it not? And it'll go out on one of your blasts. Carrie, could you say just a little bit more to folks about how we get the information out post meeting? If you're here, Carrie.
Yeah, I was unmuted. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, typically, these posts will go out in the following week. So look out for the announcement and slides from these presentations on maybe Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, in the announcements, as well as our newsletter and also on our website.
Great, thank you, Carrie. But are there any quick questions for Tristan? Comments? There's a link to the survey. Thank you, Tristan. Oh, wait, here's one. Is the CDC addressing, oh my gosh, eosinophilic asthma?
Laura, you've got a medical background there. Yes, absolutely. That is definitely part of the education piece. You clearly know more than most people, but yes, what Laura's talking about is there are 2 types of asthma. So one is inflammatory, and we put pretty much everything else non-inflammatory. So the eosinophilic was what she was talking about. Those are white blood cells. Just some people have have much more of an inflammatory response. So they need different medications than we normally do. We do more immunomodulators is what they call them, or more biologics for that treatment. So definitely love that you know that. Makes me happy.
Let me just point out that Tristan, of course, too, has a medical background, including MD.
Yes, I was not a pulmonologist by any means.
But still, I'm
yes.
thinking the health councils and regional health promotion teams, I think Tristan might be really helpful if anybody's having questions about or suggestions for how to better connect to their medical providers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's always helpful to have someone who speaks the same language and knows these long words to use with people. So I have a feeling Tristan would be happy to help you all.
Yeah, I didn't mention it. I'll just talk one program that we fund pretty much every year is the American Lung Association. They're the one that focuses a lot on the education for medical providers. And so they would really focus in on that, Laura, on helping providers, because I'll admit, a lot of medical providers don't really, it's not their niche, I'll say, asthma. So they might not know those differences. So essentially what they do is they'll work with that clinic or those providers for a year and just really provide a little more intensive training to them so that they are aware, they can send those tests to identify the differences and kind of the nuance that's the difference. So,
and maybe helping the medical providers understand that their linkages to community-based efforts are really important, that their connections to environmental efforts and programs like Anthony's are going to be extremely helpful in working together.
Yeah.
To make us all healthy. Yes. True. Any other questions, comments for Tristan? Again, note her website, her email address if you want to get in touch with you right away. And this will also be going out soon. Okay. Well, Anthony, segue to what's happening with your program and how are you contributing to healthy New Mexico?
Hello. So let me go ahead and put my contact information in the chat so people have that. Let me share my screen because I have a whole presentation for everyone. So hello all. My name is Anthony Spacher II. I'm here on behalf of CARES Community Health Group, which operates here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'm here on behalf of Smoke-Free Signals, one of the programs that we have contracted with the New Mexico Department of Health and the Nicotine Use Prevention and Control Program. I'm here today to mainly highlight the risk of commercial tobacco and electronic nicotine disposal, the delivery system, product use, and asthma-related illness. As I highlight here, I'm from the Pueblo of Laguna. I joined the community health team, I'd say roughly 3 years now. It's been my work anniversary more recently to join the community health team, but I've been with CARES Consulting Incorporated for roughly 4 or 5 years now. And it's been a wonderful transition to community health, and especially my efforts in this program, Smoke-Free Signals, a program I hold near and dear because it provides commercial tobacco prevention awareness in New Mexico, especially serving Native American communities such as the Pueblos and tribes. Collectively, we advocate for smoke-free environments and policies and spaces that serve priority populations such as youth and elders. In addition, our program partners with various organizations and tribes by providing presentations, trainings, technical assistance, and funding in the form of mini grants. To stay connected, we always highlight to follow our website, smokefreesignals.com, or follow our social media Facebook page, Smoke-Free Signals. And we also actually on our website have a regular newsletter that comes out bi-weekly. And we also have other guides for references and many more resources there. I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. But this is me and a little bit about what our program does. And for this particular presentation, I have a few learning objectives, and some of those include identifying the different types of tobacco products found nowadays, detailing the dangers that may occur while using these products, identify what secondhand smoke and aerosol is and dangers that accompany it, highlight the dangers of secondhand smoke to those with asthma specifically, and just inspire a pledge to live smoke-free. these are always been my learning objectives throughout. I tailor as needed. I wanted to highlight asthma more specifically after learning about what we'll be speaking about. So I hope this does a little bit of justice in hopes of bringing awareness to secondhand smoke and its effect on those with asthma. And we have our own acknowledgement. We acknowledge the traditional and beneficial use of tobacco within tribal communities and recognize its place in honor and respect within those communities. The Smoke Free Signals program strives to reduce and prevent commercial tobacco secondhand smoke exposure in those communities. And I take the time to highlight what is commercial tobacco, because I want to separate it from natural tobacco that is used in practice and ceremony in the tribes and pueblos. So commercial tobacco, in summary, is products that are produced and sold to make money, and they're manufactured for casual everyday use. And these products contain many chemicals and produce over 7,000 chemical compounds when burned, including different pollutants and toxins. And these compounds can contain cancer-causing chemicals that impair one's health and may lead to the development of heart disease and other diseases. And what is actually introduced in a lot of these products is nicotine. Nicotine is a highly addictive chemical present in commercial tobacco products, and it is what keeps the use of these products and makes it hard to quit, as it becomes an addictive and part of that person's everyday life. And sacred tobacco is very special. It's spiritual, and sacred tobacco is the tobacco and other plant mixtures grown and harvested and used by many of the indigenous populations all over the country. And it's used for ceremony and medicinal use, a lot of cultural and spiritual importance. Sacred tobacco is a medicine, and it can be used and prescribed in ways to promote physical health, spiritual health, emotional, and especially community well-being. The sacred tobacco is typically a traditional gift, is a sign of respect, and may be offered when asking for help or guidance or protection. Often sacred tobacco is not smoked, but when it is, it's usually not inhaled. Some of these tribes place it on the ground or burn it in a dish or shell or bowl of some sort, and the smoke is believed to carry prayers to their creators. And here on this slide, I like bringing this slide up because there are many people that don't realize that commercial tobacco comes in many, many forms now. And a lot of the traditional tobacco users would recognize cigarettes and cigars. Maybe some would recognize chewing tobacco, but there are various other forms now, such as hookah and vaping devices. Those are more prevalent nowadays. And actually, there's been an increased use in smokeless tobacco, such as snuff, dip, and snus. Snus is a packaged tobacco that is a cleaner version of chewing tobacco. It doesn't get all over the place, and it's easy for disposal. But these are some variations of commercial tobacco that are available nowadays. And highlighting further, I mentioned vaping devices, and vaping devices, these newer products are referred to as electronic nicotine delivery systems. They were introduced in commercial tobacco, marketed back in the early 2000s, and can be found in various forms as found here, such as these large tank devices called mod boxes. There are some as slim as a pen that are just simply known as vape pens, and they come in other variations that are rechargeable, disposable. There are some variations available in e-cigars and pipes, and there are just a wide variation of what these products now come in. And disposable e-cig use has actually recently increased due to flavor restrictions among reusable products, and Juul removing many of these flavors from the market. So this has led to an increase in disposable e-cig products such as Puff Bar and Elf Bar, so many more that are out there. But this is only a handful of the different types of ENDS products that are identified. In the past, many more and more variations are actually released. This is a bit more of an older photo that we have. We would like to update this, but this kind of does segue into my next segment, because with all these increased variations, sometimes we can't tell what a vape device is anymore. And I have a little fun quiz for everyone if you want to use the chat box. And I have a quick question here is how many e-cigarettes do you see in this one photo? I'll give everyone roughly a minute to skim this photo, give your answer, put it in the chat. It would be fun to see everyone's reaction to this. I include this photo in a lot of my presentations. I shared it with some youth at Santa Fe Indian School, and I got different answers all over the place from, I only see 3 or 4, or I see 12. And I had one student yell out, all of them, everything's a vape device now. And it gets a laugh from all of them. But when I give them the time to look at the photo, give their guess, and then reveal the answer, I hope all of you are ready or have thrown in
Oh,
an answer if you got a chance.
looks
On
like
this
5
page.
to 12. I see a range here, 5 to 12.
Thank you for that. And the answer is 5. So on this specific photo, this instance, there's 5 devices. And as you can see, they come in a variety of forms. Like numbers 1 and 4, they look very similar to the drink, the Neo drink mix there in the middle. Number 2 looks similar to a pen. Number 5 looks like a big thick marker. Number 3 looks like it could be a USB device. And that's what we want to highlight with e-cigarette devices nowadays, because now there are so many concerns with individuals wondering, is the person that I'm talking to, are they using a vape device? Or are the kids that I'm seeing nowadays, do they have a vape device? And that's the biggest problem in schools is nowadays they can be snuck in very easily. And when questioned about it, they can just deny it and say, no, it's one thing compared to another. And so that's why I like doing this little highlight.
Anthony, did you see Laura's saying now people are using chapstick, USBs, and highlighters, I guess?
Yes. I have seen those. I've actually spoke to some students that have that have brought those to my attention as well. So it's been insane. And actually, I skimmed another article recently, and it was something very similar. And it was again an array of items, and it's like, guess which one of these is a vape product? And one looked like a random balloon, and it turned out to be a portable hookah. And like this other one looked very similar to like a small USB. It was not much bigger than maybe the tip of my thumb, and it was a vaping device that held a small amount of vape juice and that could be used. So it's shocking how many variations of these products are out now and how discreet they can be. And with e-cig devices, there's a concern with flavored tobacco that is heightened as well. In 1998, both direct and indirect marketing to youth was banned. However, it's clear that this targeted marketing still occurs. The tobacco industry has a long history of marketing their products to youth, and this is done in the form of sweet, fruity, candy-like flavors. Because of this, teens are 3 times more likely to use flavors than adults. And nearly 7 out of 10 youth currently using tobacco use a flavored product at some point. About 85% of youth started with a flavored product just because it was easier on their throat or their taste. And just about 97% of youth today use flavorings. And not only is it just concerned with just fruity flavors, but flavored tobacco marketing has been in media for so long. If many are aware, menthol was a flavor added to make cigarettes go down smoother, and it was actually dedicated for African American communities.
Anthony, quick question. What is the addictive potential for those flavored products? Are they similar to the other nicotine products?
For flavored products, the addiction factor is that it makes it taste good, and it's seen as like, oh, because it tastes good and it's not harsh on your throat, or it's more appealing. It keeps bringing in, oh, well, this is much smoother going down, or it's much more suitable to enjoy. So I'm not going to stop using this product because it's similar to a taste that I enjoy.
But it is addicting.
And it is addicting for those that I have a sweet tooth, so I'm going to use my vape and I'm going to have this gummy bear flavored vape juice. And it's concerning how many flavors are out there now. And with all those fruity flavors and sweet flavors, who are they really marketing to?
Great. And Tristan wants to remind us that the problem is the way it works, it's still doing serious harm to the lungs.
And it is. It's just a mask making something that is very horrible for one's body just seem more appealing, and it's not. It still does great harm. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You're muted, Wendy.
And the devices are unregulated and can explode and cause burn.
Exactly,
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. That's more concern for the products.
I was going to say my area of expertise was an anesthesiologist, and I can't tell you how many times I saw with kids that it exploded in their mouth and they had second-degree burns in their mouth, and we had to put a trach in them because they just had really bad burns all the way down their airway. So
Yep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was something else I was just going to highlight. But yeah, thank you so very much for following up with that. And the next thing I want to do is define secondhand smoke. I've actually spoke to many people in the community, and I asked them their knowledge on firsthand secondhand smoke. And I'm very shocked. There's many people that are not aware of the definition of secondhand smoke. So secondhand smoke is from burning tobacco products such as cigarettes, cigars, pipes, as well as aerosol from e-cigs, and the smoke that's also exhaled or breathed out by a person smoking. And that's typically what I want to highlight, as our program highlights more the secondhand smoke portion of consumer use. And secondhand smoke, we always highlight the dangers that come along with it, because it's always been a misconception that secondhand smoke is not bad for one's health, and that's a very dangerous lie. Secondhand smoke is a risk factor for lung cancer because of the smoke exposes a non-smoker to the same cancer-causing airborne pollutants and chemicals as a smoker. Secondhand smoke and secondhand aerosol are exhaled, and those in the immediate area are exposed to those dangers, and can be at risk for other health issues, including heart diseases or cancers. And individuals that are pregnant can actually be subjecting their unborn children to the risk of serious birth defects due to secondhand smoke. And just secondhand smoke itself is dangerous. We've talked about chemicals and such, and I wanted to kind of list a few just to put a bit more reality to it, because there's always been conversation of there's chemicals in cigarettes, there's chemicals in vaping, but now to put a bit of a reality to some of that, secondhand smoke contains more than 7,000 chemicals, which hundreds of are toxic and are cancer causing, and some of those include toxic metals and such as lead. Acetone can be found, which is found in rat poisoning, ammonia, which is used in household cleaners, formaldehyde, which is used in embalming fluid. Benzene can also be found, which is in gasoline. We have hydrogen cyanide, which can be used in chemical compositions. Toluene, which is found in paint thinner. There is so many bad chemicals that are found in secondhand smoke that we always want to highlight. And with vaping, it's always been another misconception of, the vapor that's released from these products are safer than regular cigarettes, because it's not actual smoke, it's water vapor. And that's why I put air quotes on it, because that's been the biggest misconception from the beginning, is they're a safer alternative to commercial tobacco products. They're not. They're unsafe, and they're the exposure from the secondhand aerosol is just as dangerous. Secondhand aerosol is not water vapor. It contains harmful chemical compounds, which can cause eye, throat, and airway irritation. The aerosol from e-cigarettes can expose users' lungs to harmful chemicals, which can cause irreversible lung damage. And e-cigarettes with their flavor chemicals, just because the flavorings are safe to eat in food, does that mean that they're safe to inhale? Inhaling flavor chemicals can do just as much harm to the lungs as well. Vape aerosol can be delivering metal particulates like chromium, nickel, lead, and aluminum right into the lungs and causing permanent damage. As well as there includes ultrafine, high concentrations of ultrafine particles, which can really exacerbate the respiratory conditions like asthma, or can also lead to heart attacks as well. And I enjoy my interactive portion, so I have a couple questions here. If everyone would like to hop in the chat, I have these little fun quizzes. I got like two quizzes here, and I have you been paying attention? Are electronic cigarettes a safer alternative to regular tobacco products because there is no tobacco in them? Yes or no? And then the second question, cigarette smokers are addicted to what substance found in their products? Tar, nicotine, carbon monoxide. I need some Jeopardy music whenever I have these quiz portions. I'm only 28 and I'm referencing Jeopardy. I got quite a few answers in here. So let's see if you were right. Are electronic cigarettes a safer alternative? No, they're not. And what chemical addictive is found in cigarettes? Nicotine. Thank you everyone for playing along. I like the quiz portions. It gets everyone involved. And here's my highlight, because asthma and smoke do not go together. When a person has asthma, an asthma attack, the airways swell, which can make it harder for a person to breathe. The airways get narrow and limited with the amount of air that can enter. Individuals with asthma may experience buildup of mucus due to the cells in the airways producing more than usual. An asthma attack can be triggered when something irritates the airways. In most cases, commercial tobacco smoke and secondhand smoke exposures can immediately cause an asthma attack. There is no immediate cure for asthma. There is no cure for asthma. It can be managed with proper medical attention, but secondhand smoke and aerosol can very much exacerbate these symptoms. And these symptoms include coughing, shortness of breath, trouble breathing, wheezing, or tightness or pain in the chest. To prevent asthma triggers, it is encouraged to make one's home and vehicle 100% smoke and vape free. It is also important to inform friends and family members not to smoke inside or around the home or vehicle. It's always part of our policy to do a short-term self-implemented policy. When we started, we have vinyl stickers on our website that people can put on their homes or vehicles saying this home or this vehicle is smoke and vape free. It's something that we always encourage, and many people love them. I actually spoke with some individuals, and I believe it was Zia Pueblo, and they actually want to make an order with us to get plenty of those housing home stickers, because there are plenty of elderly that have oxygen tanks, and smoking should never be allowed around their homes. And smoke-free is actually the future, because living smoke and tobacco-free has many, many good health benefits that should always be highlighted, such as the heart rate returning to normal, and within 20 minutes, carbon monoxide levels return to normal in the first 24 hours. These are immediate reliefs that no one talks about when talking about going smoke-free or tobacco-free, vape-free. After quitting the use of these products, long-term health benefits take effect, including improving lung function, decrease of coronary heart disease, cancer, and stroke. And being a current or former smoker can make one likely to get more severely ill to colds, flus, and COVID-19. We still do the highlight on COVID-19. And there are so many other additional benefits to going smoke-free. Not only is a person improving their own quality of life, but the quality of life for those around them. Secondhand and third-hand smoke is drastically decreased, along with the risk of nicotine poisoning. Recovering a sense of taste, smell is one of the few changes many smokers notice when they quit, often within just a few days. And people who use commercial tobacco products are burdened with additional recurring costs, and that costs can really add up. And for a person who is a pack-a-day smoker, this is a bit of an older number. I do need to update this one, but a person who's a pack-a-day smoker will spend roughly $2,400 a year on just cigarettes. And that is $2,400 a year on just cigarettes. I actually spoke with an individual who is smoking so much that his partner encouraged him with how much putting into this habit of yours. We could be getting a brand new car. We could be taking care of finances. We can be taking care of bills and so much more. And because of that, he actually became motivated to quit smoking. He sought out help and counseling. And after a couple brief years of payments, he actually has a brand new vehicle that motivated him to quit smoking. And it's something that him and his partner dearly cherish. And we always want to encourage quitting resources. We always highlight the New Mexico resource, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, quitnownm.com. We always highlight Quit Start, which is a smartphone app. Most people nowadays are on their phones, and there's an app for everything. So why not have one for quitting? And actually, Smoke Free Signals has their own toolkit on their website, smokefreesignals.com. And we actually have plenty of education videos that also highlight other related tobacco concerns. One of my favorites is actually the video regarding pets and how they'll respond to smoking, and that actually features yours truly. I got to voice that video. It's very fun. We have 28 videos that are always ready and available. They're anywhere from 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes long. So even for anyone that wants to just share a brief, hey, did you know? We have a video for almost everything on there, including how to keep one's home and vehicle clean of secondhand smoke, third-hand smoke. There's text messaging programs, smoke-free text for a lot more of our text-savvy individuals, and a lot of these resources provide counseling support, self-help materials, and for the New Mexico resource, the Quit Now NM, they do provide help with their technical support and their trained quit coaches. They provide nicotine replacement therapy, such as gums, patches, lozenges, while supplies are available. They can actually ship those directly to the registered participant, and specialized services for youth and pregnant women as well. And I also want to highlight Indians Helping Indians, because we want to search and highlight resources for our Indigenous communities. And this has actually been one that I've always shared for a while. They've been a great resource, and I've heard many great stories coming from them. They actually post a lot of their success stories and testimonials. So the American Indian Commercial Tobacco Program has culturally sensitive counseling with coaches of the Indigenous community, knowledgeable in traditional tobacco practices passed from generation to generation. Their input has come from listening circles, including tribal communities across the Mountain West, the Great Plains, the Great Lakes and Plains and region areas to help make and structure this program. The enrollment is easy with an online portal, live online chat, and a quit line. One of their unique tools is their tobacco calculator, which can help highlight to an individual how much smoking has impacted their life financially. And they can input how much a cost of cigarettes is for them, how much they smoke a day, and how much a year they can actually save if they were to choose to quit today. It's a great resource. I highly recommend them to any individual I speak to if they're not confident with the New Mexico, the Quit Now 1-800 number. And I got one more quiz for everyone, one more knowledge check. I got 3 questions here. If you can answer all 3 in the chat. Bad stuff can be found in tobacco products. Which of the options are included in the list? I got cadmium, ammonia, benzene, or D, all the above. Secondhand aerosol is safer than normal cigarette smoke. True or false? Secondhand smoke from either commercial tobacco products or e-cigarettes is safe for those with asthma. True or false? And actually, I forgot to include the answer slide to this one. So the answers are D, all the above, false, and false.
And it looks like people were paying attention.
Yay! I don't know why one of my slides is missing. Okay, that was the last slide. I'll take any questions. I'm glad all of you were paying attention, answering my questions. Thank you so very, very much for giving me this opportunity to share our program, a little bit about what we do and our initiative. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Here's a question from Phoebe. Do you know or have there been any scientific studies detailing the ill health effects of electronic cigarettes? I'm guessing there are a lot.
Yes, there. You know of any specific studies? I don't know any specific studies myself. We actually get a lot of help from many programs that we actually work with. A lot of them being campaign for tobacco-free kids and so many more. A lot of them brought great information that they wanted us to share in our presentation. They would definitely have more specific studies, but yes, there's plenty of research out there detailing the health effects of e-cigs. We're simply just an information hub for everyone, anyone who can reach out to us and provide what we can. Be a little connector for people who want the help that they want, that they so well deserved.
Right. Cheryl, who is AHA? Who has these studies?
American Heart Association.
Heart Association. I was
yes,
gonna say.
Yeah, we have oodles. That's a scientific term.
Oodles.
We have
Oodles.
lots and lots, especially the vaping in youth and the dangers of vaping. But yes, there's and a lot of our partners. I don't want to just the American Lung Association.
Yes.
A lot like Quit Now and things like that. So I could follow up with a sheet of links and resources, but yes.
Yes,
Great.
I was gonna highlight American Lung Association. We actually have a contract that was working with them as well. And one last thing I wanted to actually share was our website, just so that you can get an idea of some of the information we share and so on and so forth. So this is our website. As I mentioned, we have our own specialized toolkit, and we actually provide infographics on different arrays of topics that are made by our in-house graphics person named Josiah Concho. He does great work, and he did a lot of my slides by him. He does a lot of the designs by himself, and he did such great work. Here's one specifically on asthma that I utilized to highlight for my presentation. Take a little time to load, but as I mentioned, there were window decals that we provide that people can order. This is a smoke-free, vape-free vehicle or home. These are well received within the community, and we always have material requests here. I mentioned that we have our education videos. There are 28 of them on an array of topics, to cost, to chemicals, to third-hand smoke. I didn't highlight third-hand smoke in my presentation, but it's a great eye-opener for many people who are not well associated with the term, and they've known about individuals smoking in their homes, and sometimes the house just smells like smoke. They don't realize that the smoke particulates land on furniture and contribute to that smell, and that actually they can absorb the nicotine through touching the furniture and those particulates. And we have everything: predatory marketing, nicotine addiction, poisoning, and so much more. There's 28 of these videos, and many of them were voiced by our own staff here in the office, as well as some young adults in the community that work with Josiah Concho. He got some of his college friends to come out and help out with these videos. So they were a great help. And we have some examples of our presentations and so much more. We have our toolkit, as I mentioned. We have highlights of e-cigarettes. We do have some research. It's not anything in depth, just some highlights that we found from other resources. And we always highlight them here, a lot of them CDC and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is a little glimpse into our website and a little bit about what we do. This is just our online portion. I actually do the in-person as well. I do tabling at events, and I share all the resources that I have not only here on the website, but also printed as well, including just trifolds that highlight the dangers of vaping and how it contributes to one's health and so on and so forth.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Anthony. What a treasure trove. Resources.
I think I covered everything. I think I covered
I bet you haven't. I bet there's even more. Oh my goodness. Well, any questions for Anthony?
Yep, thank you for putting in that website, smokefreesignals.com. I was just gonna type that in myself.
Marijuana versus tobacco?
Oh,
But yes, thank you.
great. Thank you again, Anthony. So all of you health councils out there and health promotion staff and all of our partners out there, this is still a big issue. If smoke-free is the future, we're not there yet. And it's kind of concerning, all these young people that are getting hooked on candy and don't understand what's happening to them. So I was just talking to somebody about so many times we hear about the problems. We hear people talk about the problems, but they're kind of short on the solutions. And what you heard today was certainly alarming comments about and statistics about the problem, but also lots and lots of resources that we can use to help us get healthier and smoke-free. So we want to thank you again, all of you. Last call for questions, suggestions. Tristan, Anthony, and also Cheryl, would you put your emails into the chat, please, in case people want to get a hold of you with some questions? Remember, Cheryl has information from the Heart Association, Tristan from the Department of Health Asthma Prevention Program, and Anthony from Smoke Free Signals. So if you could just put your contact information again. And this will be going out. So if you don't catch it this time, we will capture it for you and make sure that it's available on our website and in our newsletters. And yes, Devana, I'm so glad you can come. Devana's going to make sure that all of our community health workers and community health representatives have access to this information. Thank you, Devana. Okay, great. Well, thank you all. This is really exciting, very informative, alarming, but informative. So let us go forth and work together on helping New Mexicans become smoke-free and healthy. Thank you all. Yes, engaging. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see you at our next Health Council talk in 2 weeks. See you then. Thank you all.
Take
Have a
care,
great
everyone.
weekend. Okay. Well, thank you again, Anthony. That was a fabulous presentation. You must be doing that. We've got and all those resources are just amazing.
Yes, thank you so
you
very much.
Be sure you
This is very paltry compared to the presentations I did for Santa Fe Indian School. I did a presentation for Santa Fe Indian School. It was an hour-and-a-half long. I gave the presentation like 12 times throughout one semester, and I reached over 430 students. Like, if I can do that presentation, I could definitely put a nice presentation together for this.
Well, our health councils are collections of people who do different things in the community, including schools. So including healthcare providers. So hopefully some of our health councils will get back in touch with you, and hopefully you'll have the resources to do some more presentations out there. Be sure you connect with Tristan.
Yes, thank you.
I'm having
Thank you
a
so very
feeling
much.
that.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.